So as far as this session is concerned, as I'm talking, a very good evening. So as far as this session is concerned, here I'll be talking about a very important concept that comes under your agronomy part, that is about tillage. So I hope that you all have gone through what you have a bit of knowledge. If don't worry, I'll let you know ki what exactly tillage means, the types of tillage, and some other stuff related to it. So let us have a look over what do you understand by tillage? What is tillage? Anybody who knows what is tillage? Anybody who understands what is tillage, or you have any sort of you can say idea of what tillage is in agriculture? So as far as tillage is concerned, it is basically you can see through this picture what is happening. So it is basically an operation in farming where what we do, we want to make a proper you can say seed bed that is suitable for growing or for sowing the next seed for your product, for your, you can say, soil productivity production. So all what happens, cultivating with different plough. Okay, so the basic essence of tillage is where you are manipulating your soil once again. This is the exact term that you need to remember as far as tillage is concerned, that talks about manipulation of soil. You can see here where you are basically through this mechanical, through the best of equipments that you have, you manipulate your soil so that the nutrients जो थे उस soil के अंदर they once again replenish. You basically increase the water holding capacity of the soil. You destroy the weeds that grow near to the soil, the grasses, the insects, the pests. You prevent soil erosion, and once again your soil is ready with this seed bed to once again start sowing. Right, you are basically, what you are doing, you are enhancing the fertility of the soil and doing this particular practice. For this tillage to happen, there are different operations that are included in it. As you mentioned, Manoj, it is one such as ploughing. Right, ploughing is basically that is happening in your primary you can say tillage. I let you know when we will be discussing about different types of tillage. You have primary, you have secondary. So in this primary method, you are basically using this ploughing, right? The method you are using is by ploughing, and then comes your secondary tillage also. I'll let you know, but I hope that the term tillage is clear to you, what tillage is. In a very basic sense, when you're writing an answer, you just need to write it that this is a mechanical manipulation of soil, where you are mechanically manipulating your soil by providing your soil the favorable conditions for crop production. What are the objectives of tillage? You want basically to obtain a seed bed that is having a good fertile soil, good structure to the soil that you are providing. You are basically, you want to improve the texture, you can say. You want to make sure that this particular soil के अंदर जो water holding capacity है, जो moisture है, you once again bring it back. It gets improved by soil aeration. जो weeds जो है, जो आसपास जो है, they grow, right? You want to destroy them, and you want to make your soil fertile once again. Correct? So if asked in the examination in your objective type question ki who is the father of tillage? Who is the father of tillage? Who is the father of tillage? It is exactly. It is written in front of you, and please do remember the father of tillage is Jethro Tull. So you need to remember the name. If asked in the objective type questions, you can have an understanding of it. As far as now types of tillage is concerned, before going to the type of tillage, you have one term that is tilth, right? Tilth, tilth. What is tilth now? Tilth is basically the good physical condition of soil. Once you have done this tillage, no, एक बार you have done this tillage, the quality of the soil, the good quality of the soil that you get after this manipulation, that is tilth. So it is the good physical condition of the soil after tillage, right? So here you have different types of tills based upon what you want to grow. If you want to grow like a cotton, chickpea, so for such type of crops you need to have a seabed that is coarse, right? If you want to grow a different variety of crop, for some case that requires a powdery kind of condition, where sometimes so आपके को soil में there are fine grains, or sometimes your soil is completely powdery, so it depends upon, so that is known as the type of tilth. In case your soil is powdery complete, it refers to fine tilth, right? And when you talk about coarse tilth, it refers to the rough cloddy condition of the soil. That fine seabed basically depends upon, so seed bed depends upon आपको आप कौन सी तरीके की seed जो है वो grow करना चाह रहे हैं, what type of seed you want to grow. That, so basically that will be your ideal seed bed, राइट? आपका आइडल सीड बेड क्या होगा? बेस्ड अपॉन आप किस तरीके की क्रॉप को ग्रो करना चाह रहे हैं. विद दैट यू विल हैव डिफरेंट टिल्थ, डिफरेंट फिजिकल कंडीशन ऑफ योर soil. कहीं पर you will have powdery condition that is required for growing, and there are different crops that require coarse seed bed, right? It depends upon the type of crops that you want to grow. Now if I come to the types of tillage, as you have seen that there is a primary tillage and there is secondary tillage, correct? We need to now have a look over how many types of tillage we have. Primary tillage, secondary tillage. Primary tillage के अंदर भी क्या रहता है? There are special tillages also there, and it consists of several other ways. And I hope now tillage is basically clear to you. If tillage is clear to you कि what tillage is, by seeing through this picture also, then we will understand the types of tillage. As I'm moving forward with the types of tillage, before going to that type, I hope that objective of tillage is clear to you. ये हम tillage करते क्यों हैं? Why we go with the tillage? What is our objective? There can be different crops that you want to grow based upon अगर if you have read about the agroclimatic zones that I talked about, जहाँ पर अगर आप types of soil में भी पढ़ेंगे, alluvial soil होता है, clay soil है, laterite soil है. Alluvial soil में you will see most of your wheat kind of crops are grown. अगर मैं बात करूँ जैसे rice की grow करनी होती है, तो for rice you need a soil जहाँ पर you need standing water, inundation basically, जहाँ पर you can see कि पानी जो है वो खड़ा हुआ पानी हो जो soil के अंदर है, right? तो it depends upon type to type. It depends upon कि अगर आपने agroclimatic zones में that I have talked about the lecture, I in brief I had given you the discussion also कि कौन से region में आप किस तरीके की crop को grow करते हैं. Alluvial soil that is very fertile, जो कि आपको गंगा बेल्ट के आसपास मिलती है, where you have that fine seed bed, you grow crops like wheat, right? Now if I move towards the objective of tillage, so from the basic definition itself, why I am manipulating that soil? Why I am manipulating that soil? Now give me certain points where you yourself can think कि why I am manipulating the soil, why I am adopting this practice of tillage. I'm doing this only. I think that. But yeah, I'll continue with that in case you want. And 95% of it I'm saying it in English. Now my question to you is very easy, and that is what I'm asking you in English. Okay, can you please tell me why we are going with the this process of tillage? Why we do tillage? What are the objectives of tillage? Manoj? Any idea? Are you able to get the question that I am asking? To remove the weeds, correct. What else? So basically, why we are manipulating the soil? Because we want a good soil condition, and for that you want a soil that is basically having adequate nutrients in it, that is basically having adequate soil aeration, where the exchange of gases in the seed and in the root zone goes proper, where you want कि जो the crust है, you don't want a big chunks or crust in the soil. You want the soil to be fine. You want adequate light to penetrate, you can say, an environment that provides it. You don't want weeds to grow around. You want an environment, a soil that is pest free, pathogen free. You want there is proper mixing of the manures and fertilizers in the soil, right? You want to remove that hard pan into the soil, and you want to increase the depth of the water absorption in the soil, right? So exactly, so as to strengthen the soil fertility, you are basically adopting this particular way of tillage, right? So the main aim of the tillage is to produce a good soil condition, to produce a good soil that is fertile enough for the crop establishment, from the initial part, from the shoot to the root, right? Correct? And you're absolutely correct with the answer that you are giving. So for this, we are basically adopting this practice of tillage, right? If I talk about the types of tillage now, we have different kinds of types of tillage: on season tillage, off season tillage, special types of tillage, right? So here we are having three types of tillage. I'll talk about it in brief now. On season tillage. On season tillage is basically done during you can say from harvesting to sowing, right? जो आपका, or you can say from sowing to harvesting, whatever you say. So basically in that particular duration, that is your cropping season, right? On season itself says that you are doing tillage during the cropping season, from harvesting to the sowing. During complete this particular duration, you are practicing it. If I talk about off season tillage, off season tillage is done during the non-cropped seasons, uncropped areas, during fallow or non-cropped seasons, right? Let's say there can be summer tillage in off season, during there can be winter tillage also, when you are doing the tillage in the temperate areas in the winters. And there are different other post harvest tillage is also comes under off season tillage. And there are certain special types of tillage also, based upon what is your purpose, you go with that tillage practice, right? So these are the different types of tillage. If I talk about on season tillage, now what happens in on season tillage? Just give me a second. What happens in on season tillage? Right, in on season tillage, all that you need is a good seed bed at the end, where you have a seed bed where best of the soil is there with the fertile one, with the best of nutrients, so that you can sow the crop or the seed that you want. For this to happen, what will you do in case of on season tillage? Let us have a look now. On season tillage is basically a tillage operations that are done for raising the crops in the same season or at the onset of the crop season, as I talked to you about, when you are basically going for raising the crops during the cropping in the cropping season itself. You are doing those tillage operations, and those tillage operations that are done during the crop season, from harvest to sow, June, from like June, July, the duration itself during the cropping area time, that is your own season tillage. In own season tillage, first of all you will see preparatory tillage. Now what is preparatory tillage? The name, I think, makes it clear in itself. What do you understand by preparatory tillage? Preparatory tillage is basically where you want to prepare, as I talked, seed bed. Preparatory tillage is basically where you want to prepare your field. It is your field that you can see in front of you. You want to prepare this field so that you can raise the crops there. You can sow the seed here. So for that, first of all, preparatory tillage comes. So as to make your field, you can say, prepared for raising the crops, what you all do? You first of all go with primary tillage, right? So isme first of all, for this preparatory tillage, first of all you will go with the primary tillage. I'll let you know what happens in primary tillage. After primary tillage, you go with secondary tillage, right? Secondary tillage, and thereafter you finally move towards you can say your seed bed. Correct. Now if I talk about primary tillage, are you able to understand? You can also write it down when I am writing. I hope that you all are having pen and paper with you when you are seeing the lectures. ये बहुत ज़्यादा important है. It is very important कि when you are coming into a session, please do have pen and paper with you so that you also can have an understanding by writing by yourself also. You can write कि okay, as far as preparatory tillage is concerned, initially you have primary tillage, then secondary tillage, then you have final seedbed preparation. Why I am saying so as to write along with me, because you will remember it for a long. If you are not following this practice now, you will forget. Are you getting my point? If you wish to write, you can write it also. I can wait for a minute. If you are writing, then please let me know. Are you preparing any flow chart, or are you writing certain keywords? If you are doing so, then I'll wait for a minute also so that you can write, and I'll give you the time also in case I am aware that you are writing. Right, now moving to primary tillage. When I talk about primary tillage basically, the term itself says when you are at the initial stage, right? So when you are at the initial stage, what I mean by it? If I am saying when you are at initial stage, what do you understand by it? So basically, meaning by primary tillage is कि after you have done your last harvest, now you want to grow, now harvesting is done, now you will have a phase of cropping season, you will have a time after harvesting, and you want to sow again. Sowing will come again, right? After you have done your harvest, now your first soil tillage after your harvest, as I discussed now, own season mein from harvesting to the sowing, this is your duration. So after your last harvest is done, your first soil tillage is known as primary tillage, right? Where you are working with ploughing, you are using plough, right? So this is, you need to understand ki what is the basic difference between the primary and the secondary tillage. In the primary tillage, you use plough. It can be any ridge plough, desi plough, whatever you use the plough in your primary tillage, right? You will remove the plant materials, the cover plant materials, you will rearrange once again, you will prepare the bed, you will have a view in it, you will basically work upon it. So आपका initial, when you are at an initial stage, when you want to manipulate, or you can say you want to go with that reversal, so as to, you want to increase your soil strength, तो जो आपका first step होता है, your first soil tillage that you are doing with ploughing, that is your primary tillage. There can be deep plough also, कि in case you want to grow a crop जो कि basically is you need you can say 25 to 30 centimeter of depth, you will have deep ploughing then, right? You will have large size of clothes, you want to turn it out, you want to disintegrate, you can say, you want to improve the soil moisture content, wanting कि अगर आपकी कोई crop that is deep rooted crop if you want to grow, then you will first of all go with the deep tillage. Then you have a type like subsoiling in the primary tillage. In subsoiling, what you do, you don't there is a topsoil, no, but below the topsoil mein to you are removing the large size clods, but below the topsoil there are certain hard pans. Now you don't want to disturb your topsoil. For that matter, you will make a narrow cut in the topsoil, and you, so as to make sure that without any inversion and without any disturbance to the topsoil, you break that hard pan. That is subsoiling, right? Here chisel ploughs are being used. So basically in primary tillage you are using plough. Year round tillage, the name itself makes it clear. What do you mean by year round tillage? In year round tillage you are doing the tillage operations throughout the year, completely throughout the year. जैसे dry farming regions, if there are dry farming regions, you want कि repeated tillage is being practiced so as to sow the crop, and after sowing also you once again start tillage. So every मतलब complete year you are doing tillage practice. That is year round tillage. Now what is secondary tillage? I hope basic sense of primary tillage is clear to you. This is what primary tillage is all about, where you have your first soil tillage after harvest by the use of plough, right? The implements that you use, it is just to, you can say, to break the soil, right? To break, to open the soil, right? Initial soil working process, you can also refer to it as, that is primary tillage. Now if I talk about secondary tillage, abhi kya hai na, you have those particles, the clogs. So now you basically, what you do through, you can say, through tractors or through the harrows. So what you do through harrowing, you crush them out, you crush it. Now that is secondary tillage. After primary tillage, once you have performed primary tillage through ploughing, abhi ploughing ke baad your soil mein you will have certain nodules that come up, you want to crush them out, so you will use secondary tillage. Ploughing is done in the primary one, in the secondary one you use rollers, you use plankers, right? Planks, you can say, so as to create a proper soil tilth. Now a proper soil tilth, that is for seeding, that is for planting. So here you have fine operations, lighter operations are performed on the soil. You will reduce the size, you will do weed control, you will incorporate fertilizers. Now you will level the soil surface and you will do puddling. So you are using here plankers. Ploughing is done in the primary tillage. In the secondary tillage, you are doing these practices now to make a fine suitable seeding or a proper soil tilth. Correct? Understood? There comes your primary and secondary tillage, and finally the seed bed that you that we abhi just talked about as far as your on season tillage is concerned. Correct? So we have certain other dimensions of tillage later on. If I talk about like off-season tillage, I just refer to you ki this particular tillage is done during the uncropped seasons. You have post-harvest you do this tillage because it is off-season. Summer tillage, winter tillage you have, fallow tillage you have. So these are different types that comes under your off-season tillage, right? So in this way, I think that you're getting an idea what tillage is. So thereby, in this particular session, you have an understanding of tillage, the types of tillage, the objectives of the tillage, and the process of on-season tillage, right? We have course going on that where I'm taking the ARD classes as far as your current affairs and ARD section is concerned for your NABAD grade A and NABAD grade A and grade B. So if you want to join that particular course, do enroll into that course where you will be having a complete understanding, complete course is being covered of ARD, ESI and your essay, descriptive answer writing, everything is being taken care of. You can visit the Oliveboard platform and can do enroll in it. So with this, I Aarzoo Kakkad sum up this session here. If you like learning, all you need to do is please do like this session by marking your attendance and share it with your other friends as well. I'll meet you in the next lecture on Thursday, where we will be having the discussion over descriptive answer writing and how well you can write an answer with the help of 3 to 4 questions. Thank you everyone. Take care. Wish everybody here a very best of luck, good health, good wishes. Take care.